Hey folks, welcome to the new episode of TECMK, and here we are going to talk about constraint. What is a constraint? Suppose if a character is holding on to an object, it is keeping the object somewhere or throwing the object. So till the time the object is in the hand of the character, is it possible to key each and every frame? I don't think it's possible. So here constraint plays a major role. It is a functionality which helps the object hold on to the hand of the character. It means that whenever you want, you can keep the object as long as you want in your hand. Whenever you want, you can get released of it, and likewise. So let's get into the details of the chapter and see how the constraint helps us in character animation. I've created a sphere and a polycube. Now let's do some animation with this sphere. Let this be the first position, and then it comes here, then it goes here. Just some basic animation with the sphere, and hence this is what's happening. It's going all around. Now the fun of constraining is, this is the parent and the cube is the child, and I want the cube to get attached to this sphere somewhere in between, and of course somewhere in between the sphere will be leaving the cube all alone. So let's see that in frame number 8 the cube will get constrained to the sphere first, or we can do it in 6 or wherever it is, 5 also. 5 is the nearest part where the cube and the spheres are the closest. So first we'll click on the parent and then the child, go to constrain, parent constrain. Maintain offset. What is the meaning of maintain offset? If we switch off the maintain offset, then the gap between these two will not be maintained and one will come in the origin of the other. So we'll always maintain the offset and translate and rotate and everything as default, and we'll apply it. Now what happens? We want the cube to get attached to the sphere from frame number 5. But what is this? We didn't want it, right? So what we'll do here, we'll go to frame number 5, and you see in the channel box, do you see any other attribute for the cube? No. These are the default attributes which usually happens when we create an object. Now what we'll do is we'll go to 5, the point from where we want the cube to get constrained with the sphere, and press S. Guys, please carefully notice the channel box. The moment you press S, there's a new attribute which got added, that is blend parent. This is the thing with which we've got to play. Now then, what happened again? Earlier it was not there with the sphere, then we parented it and it was with the sphere from the first to the last. And now when we made a blend parent, or this new attribute came on, then again we see that the attachment between the cube and the sphere are off. So there is a particular reason for it. So the blend parent value is 0. Till 4, we don't want the cube to get attached with the sphere. So we'll come to frame number 4, select the entire options for this channel box and press key selected. So you see there's a key which is being formed, and then you go to frame number 5, make the blend parent 1 and again key selected. Now from 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't see any relation between the cube and the sphere. From 5 onwards, you see how the sphere is moving along, how the cube is moving along with the sphere. So this is the switch. Like in our electrical boards, we have the switch on and switch off. This is exactly the similar kind of switch which switches off the parent, like the value is 0 means off and the value is 1 means switch on. So this is the switch on and switch off of the parent, and as discussed earlier, I want again then frame number 21 or somewhere, the attachment between these two mesh will be off. It means that the sphere will leave the cube in its position wherever it is by frame number 21. So it's very simple, switch on and switch off wherever you want. You come to frame number 20, 21, come to frame number 20, the blend parent is 1. Just go one frame and make the blend parent 0. So it's coming, it's taking the cube along with it, and then in 21 it is leaving the cube in whatever position it is being there. Now we can do the same thing with multiple objects. We can create a cone, cylinder, whatever it is. We'll just change the color of the cone for our own convenience. We want that by 18 the cone will be influenced by the sphere. Hold the sphere and the cone, go to constrain, parent constrain. Again the same thing, the cone starts moving along with the sphere from the first to the last. Now we have to create the switch, the on and off switch on the cone as we did for the cube. So where did we take a call? We take a call that from 19 to 20 the cone will get attached to the sphere. So we'll go to 19. As usual, there are no other attributes, but the moment we press S, this blend parent attribute gets added. So we'll click on the blend parent, key selected, the blend parent value is 0. Go to the next frame and give the value of 1 and again key selected. So guys, you see, till here the cone does not have any relation whatsoever with the sphere, and from 19 to 20 onwards it started moving, and again we can leave it till where does the sphere moves. Now what we'll do is from 23 to 24 we'll again turn off the switch of the cone. So the blend parent is 1, key selected. Do not only key the blend parent option, but all the translation and scale and visibility options which you see for the child in the channel box. Then you come to the next frame, press 0, key selected. So guys, this is what we were looking for. So constraining is nothing but to create a switch on child so that whenever it wants, it can get attached to the parent, and whenever it does not want, it can get itself detached from the parent. The same funda we will be using in the character animation, especially when the character will be taking up a prop or something like that. So this is pretty much of the constraining part. There's much more details to the constraining, levels up of constraining, but for the time being, this is good enough for us to deal with. Now, let's implement the same funda on a character and see how it works. Let's see what's happening. Looking at an object on the table, coming and picking it up. So here comes the function of the constraint. So we have already posed the packageman here. The timing part as usual will come later on. Let's come to frame number 10 or wherever you want and then make this pose. The body is coming forward, the body is bending forward. So whenever the body will be bending forward, the pelvis will go back, as you know from the do's and don'ts chapter. Have a nice arc in the body. Focus on the object which is going to pick up. Take this hand forward since it's been touching the object, and this hand, as you can see, it went back. So guys, from the principle of the walk cycle, we can say that when one hand is forward and the other is back, the chest will also be rotated like this. The shoulders will be rotated like this, and this one, since the hand is forward, it will be rotated like this one. Fingers will just make something. We'll adjust later on regarding the crashing and all these. The bend of the hand, as much you see here, and the body is not like this has been done too much. So what we will do here is, and we'll also change the head. Body will move back. As we know, the hand is going back here. Little bit of rotation in the fingers. Pole vector of the right hand will be out. And as we adjust the pole vector, we also need to adjust the hand. So this is the second pose. The first pose, the weight of the body is shifted on the left leg. So definitely to bring a variation, we'll shift it on the right leg. And whenever we shift it on the right leg, there's not so much of gap between the hand So we'll also adjust the hand. So you see guys, let's go to the front view. Just to make it more evident, we can shift it more. If we shift it more, rotate it more, take it down more, some way or the other we have to compensate. So it's holding on, and then what happens? Then it comes back and it checks out that what exactly it has picked up. So what we can do is, we can come back to this pose again. Yeah, this is what we can call it as the reuse of pose. But definitely, whenever we reuse of pose, we will not do it as 100%. Like see, this pose is same and this pose is same. Now if you want to make it something like this, then what would we do? This hand is anyway looking up and checking on what the sphere is. So we'll adjust the hand. There are multiple approaches of doing it, however. You can do it in your own way. Slowly, the chest is being turned back. Just look carefully how it is. It's focusing on the object which has just picked up. Careful about the shoulders. If you see any such object like crashing and all this, try to bring it forward. The left hand is just hanging by the side. Turn the shoulder to the opposite side. So here, come here, and then take it out. The main three keys are done. The hand is going a bit up and then it is approaching the object. Of course, here we need to do it because it's getting crashed inside. So as we know that we'll key all the controllers and then we'll adjust whatever we want to. Take it up a little bit, and if you see carefully here, in the initial stages the fingers were clinching. They were not very open, they were pretty closed, and as the hand started approaching, the fingers opened up, and the maximum open finger was here, just a few frames before touching the bottle. But again, as it started touching the bottle, the fingers came closer again. Initial stage will go here. We'll fold these fingers. Just take it a little bit like this, just for a variation. As it goes up, fine. Let's space out the fingers a little bit. Then it touches this one. And the maximum open fingers we can see in frame number 8. So again, we'll select the quick selection set, press a key, somewhere 8, 7, 9, wherever, pretty close. Here we'll space out the fingers. Let's make the value to 0. Always better on a safer side. Make it more closer to this object. And then it holds. In 2 frame it holds. Now guys, if you see the video reference, it holds. And after holding approximately 5 to 6 frames, the hold is being kept here. So let's keep it for 5 frames. No movement, absolutely nothing at all, and then it comes up. And how does it come up? It almost comes up like this. We'll just space it out a little bit and take it up. There are some turns and twists which are happening here. The rotation values. I hope you remember the do's and don'ts and my previous exercises regarding my instruction for the rotation values. Now let's go key by key and check whether there's any issue in this. If any key has gone up over 180 degrees, that's fine. That's fine. This is also fine. Rotation X 225302. This is indeed an issue. So let's see. If we make it 0, this is what happens, and then fold it out. Minus 135.853, which is definitely less than 180. There's some major issue. We can easily go to Euler filter and sort it out. But we'll manually fix it. And we need to check the basic funda behind this thing. Go to the rotation part and just delete the rotation values. Just delete the rotation value. Translation values remain the same. Rotation values are deleted. Fine. and this is like what's happening because I've deleted the rotation values. Turn it up and get the desired result 202.225. Yeah, I suppose here more than 180 degree is permittable because the animation or the nature of animation is like that. So you see here, just take it up a little bit. Since the hand is going from down to up, the delay of the hand will be towards the part from where the hand is coming out. So let's adjust the pole vectors, and this is how things are. Let's check out for any minute details which are happening over here. So one thing is very evident, that from the very beginning to the end, my head is always focused on the object which I'm picking up. So let's turn it a little bit here. In all the keys, let's see whether my head is being focused. Here also, let's focus on this object in 20. Now, there's a portion from 10 to 15 where the hand is grabbing on the ball, getting a proper grip on it, and then it's coming up. And in spite of the fact that my hand is grabbing onto the object, the body is not stopping. The body has a very minor movement. This we can call the ease in or ease out, slow in or slow out, whatever. Just deselect this hand controller and then go to frame number 10 and delete the key. Sorry, not only the hand controller, this controller also, and delete the key. So what happened, guys, you see, though the hand is clenching on the ball and it's keeping exactly like this, but the body is not stopping. Getting my point? Or we can also do one thing to reduce the further movement of the body at this point of time when the hand is not moving at all. Let's just make a key in 10. I did not create a key or something, and then you see from 10 to 15 for this 5 frames, the body is moving in even time. What we can do, just go to frame number 12, middle click the mouse button, drag it in the same way, and then release the mouse button and then press S. So you see the amount of rotation in the body which was there earlier reduced. So this is the slow out. For more details, come here. You can also do something with this one, this clenching of the fingers. Carefully notice, guys, this is in frame number 10. So we know that in frame number 10 and frame number 15 we did not change anything. What about if we delete this frame number 10 for the finger value? You see how much of this is animating. So what we'll do here, we'll come to 12, middle click the mouse button, go to frame number 10 by clicking the middle mouse button and then press S. So you see what happens. Very carefully notice, these are the small details which make your animation stand out. Earlier, there was absolutely no animation from 15 to 20. Sorry, from 10 to 15. Now you see, did you see the amount of animation? You want to further reduce it, go to 12 and again middle click mouse button, middle click drag and come to 10. You see the amount of animation which is happening in the fingers? It looks very realistic. It looks almost like this, what we have done here in this one. These are the small eye-on details. Check out this thing. Even if you want, we can also further go and check in Graph Editor the rotation value of the wrist. What is the rotation value of the wrist? Guys, you see for all the values like 10 to 15, all the values are the same. 10 to 15, all the values are the same. All the values are the same. But what happens, like if we go here, go to 10, just change it a little bit. We'll keep it linear, flat tangent. But this one, we have changed it very minor. Carefully notice, guys, we have changed it a little bit. What is the amount of value which has been changed? Very minor. minus 8.21, and this is minus 7.115, just a 1% change. That little 1% change, did you see this thing? Did you see the extent of animation which is happening? And as a matter of fact, in my do's and don'ts, there's also been a point, never keep a character 100% static. Our body, being a living organism, we cannot keep our body static for 100% at any given point of time. Even when we are sleeping, our body tends to make some movements, though very minute of course. Now you see how realistic things are looking. These finger adjustments, we can do it later on, or like why to leave later on, we'll do it right now itself. Curl pinky, okay. So these are the done. Then the middle finger also, it went too much deep inside. Ring finger, these are the little details which we can adjust at any point of time. Copy the same in 20, copy the same in 25, because no matter how much the hand changes, the wrist changes, but the fingers will be clinching onto this ball, so the finger values will be static. We can give some in-betweens in this wrist. When the hand is going from front to back, in 5, we can delay the hand a little bit. Check out guys, how the hand is getting a delay. And then how it is coming forward, but the delay will be at the back. Now here what we can do is, here when the hand is forward and going on in 7 or 8, we'll come here and delete the rotation values for the hand. Even further going, we can delete the rotation values for the wrist also in number 10. So you see, all the keys are deleted, and how does it look? Yeah, more fluid. Of course, yeah, the fluidity has been increased too much, but then what we can do is just go here, and this deletion, just press Z, and what you can do is come down a little bit, and exactly what we did for the right hand. This flat tangent you can use, you can just a minor change. See, from here to here the change is very minor, but it is helping us to keep the organic feel of the body. So the more you go the graph up and down, the more you see the change. Comes nice animation, and then it comes up again. Similarly, you can give details in the finger values also if you want. It comes here, it was here earlier, it went out. As the hand goes back, you can use it a little bit of spread also. So these are the spread values of the fingers. You can just delete a few of the keys, and then here the spread value, see these spread came and become a static point here. Delete this thing, and likewise. Once you are okay with the timing, then we will constrain this. Let's see whether our timing is okay. Our animation is totally of 30 frames, so no point keeping a big timeline. Little faster, of course. Yes, that's the reason we did not go into the details. Let's adjust the things here. I'm okay with the grabbing, the timing of the grabbing, but then going back is very fast. Grabbing, it's fine. The problem starts from here. So what we'll do is, we'll give a few more frames, and in fact we can also, in the starting part, we can slow it down a bit by a couple of frames more. I feel we can, this hold of this sphere can be there for a few more frames, and especially the holding, and this holding is very fast. from here to here, I feel it's very fast. No issues at all. We have this keys here which we have not changed yet. Give 2 more frames. Any other place where we feel it's fast? The coming down can be a little bit slower. Couple of frames. Seems to be quite decent. Now let's go for further detailing. If the camera is somewhere like this one, what we are doing, then it's absolutely fine. But if it is not, and if we are able to see the lower part of the body also, especially the feet, then this goes for another issue which is there in the do's and don'ts, is the feet anchoring. As you know, the feet anchoring is the 2 feet seems to be glued in the same place for a long time or throughout the animation, and this is a mistake which we usually do in course of time. So we'll also see how we can do a little bit of the feet anchoring, though the feet anchoring or something is not being given here in my acting part, but let's see how we can figure it out. What we can do is, in the initial stage, I can move the feet a little bit, rotate it a little bit, shift a little bit. So guys, did you see this thing? So 1 to 7 the feet came, and here we are able to get rid of the feet anchoring. To be more precise, let's see how we can give some value addition. Just take it up a little, not even up, just rotate the feet up a little. Maybe it has gone too much, reduce it. Guys, I did not raise up the leg. I just moved it a little bit. And then, like here, from 30 to 40, you see, there's a bit of tension in the leg. As you know, that there's this IK thing. Though it is there for substantial amount, and it still has the scope, has the space to stretch. But how about if we take up the heel a little bit? This looks much more realistic. Now you see, from 20 to 30 and from 30 to 40, the entire body is traveling in a even timing. From 30 to 40, the body should be slowing down. Let's check the actual reference. Yeah, I mean, of course, even if I did not capture the entire thing, but in the end, it is expected that the body should slow down. Just go to 45, take 5 more frames and just make a key with the whole body. Delete the 40th key. Now, of course, earlier the action which was happening from 30 to 40, the same amount of action is happening from 30 to 45. Just go to the end a couple of frames, like 42 or 41, whatever. Middle click, drag the middle mouse button in the middle click position itself and go to somewhere in 37. What happens? Guys, did you see the amount of body movement that is happening from 37 to 45? It looks much more realistic, and the slow in or slow out thing is happening over here. To bring more variation, what you can do so that your entire body part is not making the same amount of action, what you can do is just hold one of these body parts and just delete the key. What happens? What happens is the hand makes a little bit of more action compared to the other parts of your body. That's one variation. If we delete this one, no, this goes too much down. So you have to be very choosy about which part is going to make a little bit of more action, and that will not affect the other parts of the body or will not affect the animation. If you feel that this is making too much of action, especially I feel that more than translation, the rotation part is too much. No issues at all. Go to the graph editor, rotation, whatever is happening, bring these keys closer to each other. No, the translation is also there, especially the translation Z or the Y is making too much. Let's see which translation is making the maximum. Oh, well, what we'll do here is we'll hold these keys and just adjust it a little bit closer to the ending key so that the amount of movement is not much. Okay, let's go to the shoulders. How about if we delete the shoulder keys? Yeah. Of course, after deleting, we'll just plot a key here so that our keys remain intact. How about if we delete the head key? Yeah, doesn't seem much of a difference, but on the contrary, it is giving a very organic look in the body. Pelvis. What's happening to the pelvis? Can we delete the pelvis key? Yes, we can, but I would prefer to keep it. Of course, here we show the whole body. And now when we are more or less satisfied with the timing, then we can constrain the sphere with the hand. Hand comes and it actually touches the ball somewhere in 16. In 16, it touches the ball. Well, it might touch it earlier also, but it properly touches in 16, and from 16 to 21, it actually grabs the ball. This is the parent and this is the child. So first we will select the parent and then we'll select the child. Constrain, parent constraint. See, point constraint, orient constraint, scale aim. These are all the individual things, but this parent constraint actually solves the purpose. It's all in one. Apply. Now, as you know, if I constrain it, then it will be constrained throughout the time with the hand. I'll select the sphere, go to frame number 21, because 21 is the key where the entire hand is actually holding a proper grip to the ball. Key. The moment you key it, you see the blend parent 1 has become 0. It means that there's absolutely no relation with the hand. It became good as earlier. So what we'll do here, we'll come here, make it 1, entire thing key selected. We'll go to just the previous key, make it 0, and again we'll go key selected. Hold it and then you take it up. Looking at the object, going and then taking it up and having a look. The entire body is moving. There's no feet anchoring, there's no pelvis anchoring, and there's this ease out in the body happening at the end, and things seems to be on a quite decent level. So guys, this is how the constraint works, and by this time I'm pretty sure that you have also been able to understand how the slow in and slow out of the body can be worked out. Now I will show you how a constraint, or rather I can say how a prop can control the body animation. Earlier we have been able to see that how the body controls the prop. Now it's the other way around. This is the action which is happening, and hence we'll try to replicate this action, and here we will show you how a prop can control the animation. Yes, for all this time we have been seeing that the body is controlling the prop, but now here we'll show you the prop is controlling the animation. So this is the prop which I have made, the mopping stick. Just for our convenience, what we will do, change the pivot point of the prop to the base. So first, let's pose the character. There are mainly two poses here. This is one pose and this is another pose, and these things gets repeated. So first, space it out. Of course, when you space out the feet, there's a tension which is being caused in the legs, and you can see that there's this possibility of eye jack happening. In this case, we will take down the pelvis. Not much, till here. The spacing of the legs in this one is quite a bit. Now the right hand is up and the left hand is down. In order to pose it, we'll first pose the mop, then it will be convenient for us. This is approximately the same angle. Now the left hand is holding the prop in the bottom. And the body is bending down. Yeah. Whenever the body is rotating forward, the body will be translated backward to keep the balance. Since this hand is down, as per the principle of walkcycle, we know that we need to support the hand with the shoulders. Let's match the angle of the hand with that of the pole. The head is definitely looking more towards the place. And guys, of course, we will not create any symmetry. Yeah, the body is perfectly balanced, but what we know is at any given point of time, we will try to shift our weight on any one of our legs. This hand is forward and this hand is back. We will try to rotate the chest, and when we are rotating the chest, we'll counterbalance with the head. These are the walkcycle principles that we are implementing. Now, this is a prop and this is a character. In this exercise, we will show you that is how the prop can control the character. So, the pole being the primary, let's select the pole. Shift and press the left hand. Go to constrain, parent constrain, and as you know, maintain offset and apply it. We have not created a relationship with the right hand, so don't just leave it like that. So guys, did you see it? When I'm moving the pole, the hand is moving. Both this hand has to have a relationship with the pole. We can again hold the pole and again hold this one and create a parent constraint. So in this case, what happens? If I go to packageman and this being the first pose, I need to key it. So automatically the connection between the pole or the mopping stick and the hand will go off. The reason being, in both the hands, the value of the blend parent has been converted to 0. This is a usual thing when we key the constraint for the first time. So we'll make it 1, key selected. We'll select both of them. One thing which I might have forgot to tell you, that once you parent any object to a main master, you will not able to plot any keys on that particular controller or controllers, because every damn thing of these child now is being dependent on the parent. So now let's pose it a little bit for further action. So this is the first pose or one of the poses. You see the rotation, the translation, everything is being controlled. Let's go to 25. So one thing we sort of figure out that this pose which we made for pose number 1 is actually suited for this pose. That is in pose number end, where we move the body on this side. Naturally, when we move the body on this side, the tension is being formed on the heel. Take up the heel. It's time to adjust the pole vector. Even if you want, you can adjust the heel also like this. I just need to check toe twist or something. Yeah. And here in this pose, when it is gone this side, you can always take back the pelvis. Check whether any values are there. No, there are no values. And is there any major tension which is being formed on this leg? Check out, guys. I'm slowly taking up the pelvis, taking up the pelvis, taking up the pelvis. Yeah, you see how the knee is going on the reverse rather than being forward. So till here, our feet is okay. We can just change it a little bit from here. A little bit of body change is perfectly fine. When the mopping is this side, the character is looking here. When the mopping is here, the character will be looking here. And as you know, we will not be only animating one option, but we will be trying to animate all the other controllers a little bit so that the body gets an organic feel. Let's check how it's happening. So what we can see is from here to here now, from 1 to 25, it's all in even frame. Now we can feel that in the initial stages, here in the actual video, the action was a bit less, and in the end also it was a bit less. The maximum was there in the middle. Here maybe in 7 or 8 we'll create a key, or in 18 we'll create a key. We just create a key. We didn't do any major changes or something like that. So what is the technique of a slow out? 1 from 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 5, 6. Every key, the body is covering the same amount of spacing. We'll go to 3, middle click and copy it in 7. And here in 21 or something like that, or 22, wherever, we'll go middle click and copy the same in this one. So what happens? See here. Initially it's a bit slow. Here it goes to the maximum, and in the end it slows down. At any given point of time, if you feel that it is too slow, then we can always change it. Now this is being done with the mop. We did not do with the packageman. So remember, this is the 7 and this is the 18 where we need to set the key. Just come to 7 and just come to 18. Somewhere in 3 or 4 go and middle click and come here. Here also middle click and come here. So you see, now the body is also having a ease in, ease out along with the mop. Now if you want to bring a little bit of more variation in the mop, what you can do? Right now the body and the mop, they are moving proportionately. To make it interesting, for the mop, we'll go here, delete this 7 key. If you see in the initial stages, the hand is moving more compared to the body. Actually it is not the hand but the mop. But since the hands are being constrained to the mop, so we can say that the hands are moving more than the body, and then in the end we have maintained the same amount of spacing. So this is a little bit of variation that we can do. Similarly, we'll copy this frame number 1 and go to frame number 50 where the mop goes back. But of course we have not done with the body of the packageman, so the body remains the same. So we'll come here now with selecting the body and we'll do the same thing with it. Again, you know, here from 25 to 50, both the mop and the body are going proportionately. Same spacing, same speed, because we have not done anything. What we can do here is, since in the end it slowed down, right? Now here again, while starting, we cannot slow it down, because then the amount of slowness from 18 to 32 or 33 will be too much. So we'll do the same thing what we did earlier. In the initial stage, there will not be any slow in and slow out. But then we'll go to this key and maybe we'll copy it here. 41. Let's not keep it like 41 or something. Now since it's being done only for the mopping stick, so you see the body is moving too much. It's as if the body is supporting on the mop. The action seems to be such. We'll do the same thing. We'll go to 46 or somewhere and copy the same key by middle click and dragging. Now here, there's another thing which we can see that here. Here from 25, when the action is starting, it's always better that the body takes the first initiative. Here, the mop and the body moves together exactly at the same time, proportionately. We have to make it feel that the body is always a parent. So the action from the body has to lead the mop. We'll slow down the mop a little bit here. Take this 3 frames, middle click and copy the same thing after some 5 frames. So you see here, so guys, did you see? But what happened in course of time, the body action here became too much. Of course, the mop is not that heavy, so that the body needs a lot of effort to move the mop. So what we will do, we will just, a few keys of the mop will slow down. Here the slowdown in the early one was being too much. 28 will come here, just 2 keys. So you see how the slow in slow out creates a lot of difference in our animation. Now in course of doing it, I was having a problem with this one, and every time my eyes were getting stuck up here. What happened here? Okay, it rose up and then it went down. So guys, you see, while the heel is getting down, the heel is also having a slow in slow out. No, I will not allow to do it. What I'll do is, see, from 40 to 50, if you even go to the graph editor and go to the roll ball, you will see that there's a very minor change which was happening. Usually this does not happen. If you see for yourself, we will give the value of the roll ball in this 40 to the value of 0. It means that though the body is moving, I'm settling the heel here itself in 40. What happens here? Here also the same thing happens. 1 to 18 and the entire stretch, the heel is getting up, slow in, slow out, and everything is happening. The heel goes up only when the amount of stretch in the leg is so much that the heel is not able to keep itself on the ground. So when the pelvis is here, traveling from 1 to 7, do you think that the heel is not able to plant itself on the ground? Even I feel the heel should be getting up somewhere at from 10 or 11 or maybe something later. So we'll go here, come here, convert the heel value to 0. Doesn't make any difference. In 11, can we give it to 0? Yes, doesn't make much difference. Can we extend it further? 13, let's see. Yeah, maybe it is from 13 onwards that the heel is start to move, raise up. What about the rotation? Restrict the rotation till 10. Now you see how natural things are. Every body part is not moving at the same time and settling at the same time, but there is an offset. There is a timing difference between the body part movement. So the more you play around with the body part timing, the more the organic your things are going to be. And this is one of the examples of how the prop can control the parent. Going further, you can add some more refinements. For example, the chest, little bit of up and down can be there. So you see, the slow in, slow out, and whatever we have given for the main body, there are some options or there are some controllers where we are not giving it, where we are just leaving it like that. And sometimes these type of variation also helps, just to keep the body in a very organic manner and just not to show that it's working mechanically. Let's go to these options. My God, there's nothing which I have done in this rotation. No, this is not fair. So let's rotate it a little bit. So of course, and when it will be there, we'll be rotating it here. And you see, in this entire animation of 50 frames, I have just done 3 keys. There are 3 keys which are being plotted. So how this organic thing is working out, let's delete these. So you see, in spite of the body or the mop being getting static, the body is still moving a little bit. And this is how. And there's another thing which we can do. Create an dip. From 1 to 25, the body is coming here. No, here somewhere at about 12 or 13. Just take the pelvis and dip it a bit down. Graphic editor, translate text, and then again in 25 let it come to this position as what was it earlier, and again from here, like then again from 25 to 50 is there, no? So just come to 35 or somewhere, create a key, dip it a little, delete these keys, and likewise so this is a perfect example of how a prop can control the body animation.